What is up, everybody? It is Tog here, and welcome back to some more Penguin Black Ops 6 multiplayer collab. Today we're going to be playing Control, and would you look at that, I still have some time for this last daily challenge. I have played a little bit since the last time I did this, a good amount, as you can see. Probably wouldn't be able to guess that, but I'm a Prestige 10, and I was a Prestige 7 last time. And this time we're only going to run with one class rather than the multiple that I had. I got this from purchasing, I think it was the Satin something, the Bailey skin that I was just wearing. I'm gonna change this back to Ninja though, because I have used a lot of my permanent unlocks. I think my last one was used on Guardian, but the other ones were mostly on perks. I used it on Bruiser, I used it on Ninja, but that's about it. So no flak jacket, but I've been doing okay. I was using the Semtexes, but I think we can go back to the Molotovs. They're pretty fun. So yeah, I've been trying to get the power drill, so let's see if I can get that diamond, the diamond knife. But before we get started, if you didn't know this about the Penguin, it is a show that airs on HBO Max, and that is one of my favorite streaming platforms. Netflix is also high up there, but I think HBO, maybe it is because they sometimes have a higher budget, although Netflix is catching up for sure. But more than anything, I think it's like the topics, the themes, and the more mature audiences that sometimes it can attract in terms of writing, not always in terms of entertainment, I suppose, because Netflix is also delving into that category. But I wanted to say rest in peace to Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. I know that seems very off topic, but it's a show that I watched a little bit of, and it made me watch the original like 7 seasons. I had a lot of time in between this, but I just found out that they're canceling the 3rd season, and I think for good reason. I think it was becoming a little bit too woke in a time where wokeness isn't really in fashion anymore, which you can make your own opinions on that, but I definitely think that it was more about the characters not being as likable as maybe they could have been, but I think it was pretty realistic. I just think sometimes it's hard to make high schoolers likable, but I thought it was realistic, and I'm bummed that I won't get to see any redemption arcs, but that's not the show we're talking about today. I'm also watching The Pit, if you're curious about that, and Outer Banks on Netflix. That show is incredible. The Pit is pretty interesting, but today we're going to be talking about episode 3 of the Penguin, Bliss, and the game mode we're going to be playing is Control. I don't think we'll find as many games of Control because it's not as popular of a game mode, so I should be able to read more. There's also respawn delay sometimes, so I should change, and I'm planning to wear the Maya trophy collector skin as well, because I'm going to be wearing my sunglasses as well to fit the scene. I think I'm going to keep changing the operators every time, although I do use these two primarily most of the time. I think there might come a time where I'm going to have to change just so that they're not always the same, but I like their audio a lot and their character styles. It's just good. We'll see how these games go. It might take some time to find some. I'm playing at 7 in the morning, and usually you would think that at 7 in the morning, wow, he's up early. Nah, I'm kind of, I have this really strange sleep schedule where I fall asleep at like 9 p.m. at night, and I wake up at like midnight or 1 a.m. and I figure I might as well just get right to it. So I edit, I stream, I sometimes record if I have enough to record, but it looks like we're gonna struggle to find some games. It is a Friday night into Saturday morning. I guess it's a Saturday morning now. So I think I should be able to find some games, but in the time that I wait and the time that I'm doing the respawn waiting, I'll probably just read from the Penguin. So I want to make this under 2 hours because it was pretty long the other time, and it looks like I'm struggling to find a game, so this might backdraw. I hope I don't have to wait until another time or switch the game mode. I do have a couple of game modes in question, so we'll see if I can find a game, but I might as well get to read, and I know I played a lot of Call of Duty last time, so maybe it'll be more fair if I can just, I mean, once I find one, I should be able to find more, but we'll see. I doubt the skill level is going to be as high as it was before, but less than 200 milliseconds of ping is pretty tough, so we're just going to start reading and see how we go from there. This is one of my favorite episodes of the show, and there's only 8. It starts with a younger styled Victor, and he's walking the streets of Gotham. He's stepping over some blown away Bella Real promoting posters indicating that the election hasn't happened yet, and this is taking place around when the Batman movie was coming out, which you can also find on Max at the time that I'm recording this. He says to a girl, "Hi, I know I'm late, don't kill me," and she says no promises, and they kiss. I thought it was kind of her to wait because most of the people were already on the roof. It seems like they're partying on a rooftop. He still has a stutter, so it's not a trauma-based affliction. But okay, he says he has to drop something off first for work. He ends up going home to his family, so it's not really for work. As a Spanish-speaking home, he has a kind mother and a productive father, and a studious sister. The mom makes a joke as dad takes a few sips of alcohol. Arroz borracho no esposo borracho, which means the dish is called drunk rice, not drunk husband. And I don't know, I just thought that was cute. The package was for his dad, and he also gave something to his sister. It seemed like they were tools, but I'm not sure. Victor starts to tell his dad that he should be getting paid more for the work that he does. And dad shuts it down, and he says the company pays him well enough. It's gonna be a pretty prevalent theme. The sister agrees with Victor, saying her dad's boss is taking advantage of him, which excites Victor. You act like wanting more is a bad thing. Don't you want a better life than this? The mother jumps in at that line, and I thought this was an early sign of greed and victim mentality and a lack of gratitude. If you remember where we came from, we have more than enough. I can understand why as a kid you might never feel like you have enough, especially when you look around and people have more than you, but I also think that it's not always that good to like want more than you're getting paid. But that's like a biblical thing. It's just the soldiers should be content with their pay, but I don't know, maybe he doesn't consider himself to be a soldier or doesn't want his dad to be a soldier. So Victor receives the text from Graciela at, wow, holy crap, at 8:47 on November 5th. It says, "You coming?" with the letter U, and it's a beer emoji. He asks if he can go, and the dad asks about dinner, because he wants to go for the election. And mom urges him to bring her home, like, bring her here, you know? Oh, here we go. We're getting the game now. I'm gonna let them vote. We got some players. This is gonna be fun. So he's a teen, it's understandable, but dad doesn't like that a boy named Calvin will be there, because he knows Calvin's cousin pushes drugs. Vic is irritated at this, and argues his dad that Calvin is not part of Squid's crew. He did have plans to bring her back. He said he had plans to bring her back later. But he says the food will be cold or something, and dad gives permission, and mom is sad about this. Sounds like a difficult thing to deal with for now. But yeah, so I'm gonna read mostly after the game and during the respawns. I'm gonna try to read 4 pages at a time. This shouldn't be more than 7 games. Now they're on the roof, and Graciela and him are drinking beer. Calvin is telling story of a tragedy he saw while smoking weed about someone who got hit by a car. And Squid shows up with a bottle of Tito's, like hanging it up in the air, and he points at the sky, and Calvin rushes to welcome him. I hate Squid. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't know he'd be here. So Graciela hates Squid. Let's get some games and talk during the respawn, but I can discuss a little bit of the game and what's going on, and my experience playing COD. This is the AS Val, and it has a blueprint on it, but I've edited it slightly, and I've gotten a lot better at this game. And this weapon I have my complaints about because it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is super, super accurate. Let's see if I can flank here. So if you don't know how the game control works, it's basically like Demolition, except there's no bombs, and you have lives instead of just like spawn killing like crazy. I do miss Demolition, but it's very similar. Alright, we got a kill, but we're probably gonna lose this round because we have way less lives than them. And yeah, this is gonna be tough. Alright, we gotta stop them from taking A.
We lost B.
So they get more time after. That was stupid. We get more time after they get more time after destroying one. So you switch defending and attacking. Got the same person twice. It has good range on it, and it does a little bit of damage, and it's very accurate. And there's my dead body. But I think I'm sitting a little too close to the screen, so I'm gonna move this back and see if this works. But I think we're gonna lose this round, unless I can get to A. I just don't even know where. Oh, I do know where A is, yeah. Got one. Good kill. So we've caught up in the lives department. Your life. That was stupid. I wasn't sure if that was my teammate or not. Your life is a lot more valuable in this game mode. Yeah, so we're probably gonna lose this round, but it was a lot closer than I expected it to be. It's a lot slower paced, and well, we're gonna be playing like all different types of game modes, but this should be game right now. But at least they didn't lose a life. I don't know, it's a little difficult to get score streaks. They have 2 master prestiges, we have 2 master prestiges. Big Jim annoying, huh? I feel like I've played with that before. I'm okay with having my teammates be annoying. In basketball, if your teammate's annoying, it's usually because they're playing good defense, and I've had that experience before. So, I'm okay with having that. Maybe we'll get a little bit better, even though that was a defensive round. Hopefully you don't have too many questions. It's pretty straightforward, and I don't know if I've gotten better, or the players aren't as difficult right now, or maybe I'm better at this. Yes, for real. Alright. I could stick up for him, but I'm gonna let the game do the talking. Plus, if this game isn't close at all, there's no point to get involved in the trash talk. I've gotten a little bit more comfortable doing that, but usually I don't try to talk shit. I usually just try to defend. Oh shit. I usually try to defend my teammates, or, you know, give props where props are due. Like, for example, there was somebody named I'm So Slick. He ended up being, like, really good, and I had to comment and be like, honestly, I hate to admit it, but you're pretty slick. And it was kind of cute, it was funny, and I think he probably blushed if he could, but After the game, one of his teammates who came in second, like, did the back at you emote that I like so much, so I felt like it was nice that I felt like he was calling me slick as well.
Scrambler, front. Cover me, take
B locked down.
It's kind of like search and destroy, but faster paced. And I probably should get inside, because I'm in a bad spot here. Yeah, they know where I am, but they haven't been able to do anything about it yet. I know where they are too, but we're a little bit more pressed.
We're running low on life.
Damn! Yeah, this isn't great. How many lives do we have? 12?
Enemies contesting Alpha.
I think we're gonna have to win based on lives rather than holding. Oh! Who killed me? Shit, I gotta spawn in. Yeah, because if we get swept, there's no point to talk shit. I'll just look stupid. That's a tough round. We'll see if we can come back. She calls Gotham a shithole that she can't wait to get out of after they're talking about, like, how Squid and, like, whatever was there. Vic shows appeal, saying she should get apparently Victor, like, doesn't really like that she said that. He likes Gotham.
Clean it up.
He says maybe she should get flowers to brighten up her place, like his. And so you can see where they live. They live in, like, one of those, like, apartment complexes, and you can see it from the roof. Oh, Big Jim got it. He got it again. Let's see. He's doing alright, but I don't know if 2's enough right here. He's using a sniper. I'm not gonna be using a sniper this time, as you can tell. I only have one class, and I did name it My Love after the scene in House of the Dragon, where Viserys Targaryen says it at the end of an episode. I don't really know what he meant by that, but I always thought it was really interesting if you know anything about the show.
Control.
So I thought it was good for the AS Val, especially. I don't know. I was trying to get used to it because since I bought it as part of a bundle, I don't have to get to level 55 in order to use
Remind the
it.
fugitives that actions have consequences.
And so we'll see how the Master Prestiges go. But all of the rest of them I'm gonna be in Master Prestige.
We're contesting B.
That was pretty bad. That's a drawback, is the close quarters isn't great.
To Rogue Spy, we know you're here. We're coming for you.
But they're down a player, and I just got by this sleeper.
We're losing multiple
That's something you could also technically use your field upgrade on, or your permanent unlock on. Yeah, this is gonna be a clean sweep. Mostly because of the lives thing, like whether it be about the objective, it's just Scud's a tough map.
Losing B. We're defending
Yeah,
B.
I definitely lost my place as the top of the
We're
leaderboard.
out of lives. Proceed with caution.
Well, that was fun. He says the city is nice from roof, but she claims it's only because he's looking across the river to the rich neighborhoods, and that if he was up there, he'd be calling Crown Point, which I guess is the place that he lives, like what it's called, Crown Point, which is interesting. I don't know why they call it that, but it makes me think of like crowning when giving birth. How when you see the baby's head, it's like a crown. I don't know. But yeah, they kind of cooked us, is what it is.
Enemy field upgrade.
There are some more tryhards in this game mode because it's kind of more like search and destroy, but it's still fast paced. So yeah, she said that if they could see it from the other side, they'd call Crown Point a shithole, which is kind of sad to hear her speak that way. Imagine complaining about hard scoping while sweating ARs. Nice, Big Jim on it. Oh no, nut shots. I'll let them have that. I don't think they're gonna talk anything. Let's see what their emotes are. But the 2 Master Prestiges went up. Yeah, they're just dancing. I should probably change my emotes too, in case I get up there, because I have a couple more unlocked than I had before, because I have the battle pass. So Vic stays true and defends even after giving his dad a hard time, saying he likes it there. He likes the city. It's like anything could happen. Said romantically. I said he said that romantically. Is this you trying to be smooth? They kiss. Is it working? I think that's a decent stopping point, but I'm on page 3 and I'm trying to get to like 4 each time. So I'll keep searching for matches, see what I can find. The TMNT is going on right now. I've never been too interested in it too much, but let's claim. I'm starting to claim them out of order. So let's look at the emotes and then keep reading. It looks like that's just how it's gonna have to be, but I do want this to be a little bit quicker than it was. Emotes, customize. So right now I have that one. This one I thought was interesting, but I don't know. I think I might change it, so it's not really for me. Let's see what we got here. I think this is the one that we just saw, the dance team. I think I'm gonna run with We'll go with relax. I'm guessing there will be a lot of tension. I felt kind of like an asshole using this earlier today, the uncorked, because I came in first and I was playing really well. And I'm like, dang, it's just a tough day to be against me, huh? I don't like that one. I don't like promoting abuse. We'll run with that one, and I will switch this to... not the shush. We'll change it later. We'll see what we got. We'll see if this game goes a little better. They just had a really romantic scene, and then you hear this huge explosion. It could have been a firework. So Graciela says the show is starting. I guess they were throwing fireworks for it. Then you see explosions everywhere, and they're being seen, and they ask, are there bombs? And someone says, God, they're everywhere. More occur, and they hit the deck. When they notice the pattering like rain, he looks over the railing to see a flood is taking out highways and the bridge and slowly reaching his place. He calls his mom with tears in his eyes until it reaches and the title is shown. You can tell he's like looking to see his place. It just got flooded out.
Time's not on our side. Finish him.
So it was pretty brutal. It's not great. It was pretty sad, but that's what happened in the movie, The Batman. So I think the clock stops when I'm taking it up. See how it doesn't do that much damage, but the clock stops when you're holding an objective. But it doesn't. It seems like we're just gonna have to take A first. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go help out on that side. The spawn point isn't allowing me to, but I think if my teammates can take A, I would feel comfortable with that, but... never reload unless you're sure no one's gonna be there. Oh my god. Come on.
The enemy's low on lives. Secure an alpha.
Dude, how does he kill me? The Jackal PDW. Yeah, this game's cooked. Not this game, but this round at least. Okay.
Enemies are contesting zone B. Taking multiple zones.
Dude, they're fucking everywhere.
No more lives. Don't get sloppy.
This is tough. This is tough. Not a great start. Big Jim's back here, though, so we'll see what we got. I'm on his team. We'll see if we can hold our own a little better, but we lost people.
So what are you gonna do about it?
We're gonna have similar players a lot of the time, it seems. They got 4 master prestiges, and we have a bunch of no prestiges, which can sometimes vary in the skill, I suppose. We have a first prestige here, but it seems like people don't really like to prestige. They're afraid of not having their weaponry, but... I don't know, I'm a big prestiger, so I'm gonna have to represent and say that it's worth it by playing better for my team. We're back to the present now, and I'll continue reading after this game. I'm gonna read like 5 pages after this game. Let's get some gameplay.
Weapons free, people. Lay some hate on them.
Lay some hate on them. That's an interesting quote from Woods.
We're losing alpha.
Fuck. Got the
We're
elim though.
contesting Bravo. Losing A.
Good, another kill.
We're losing alpha.
Fuck! I'm struggling out here. I think I'm gonna change to the tactical insertion. I had meant to do that and I didn't do it.
We lost A.
But holding B is gonna be quite challenging. I'm also struggling with this Molotov. Good.
Heads up, we're running out of lives.
God damn it. I needed that kill.
We're contesting B.
God damn it, yo.
Hostile UAV established overhead.
Well, I don't know if they're better than us, or they're better than us a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, alright, Woods. I like that pump up. Quit feeling sorry for yourselves. I can't believe I got killed by that Semtex. I'm curious if I should switch the ninja. I don't know which. I don't know who got saved from the finishing blow. But yeah, I've been using a couple of different ones. I would like to win one of these games, but with 4 people, I mean, sometimes in game modes like this, it's better because there's less of you to kill. But it's not gonna make a difference if we can't hold our own. So I'm gonna try to stick with Big Jim and see if we
Capture all
can
zones.
do something with this.
Enemy UAV inbound.
I didn't get it fast enough. I'm not a big fan of rage quitters, so I'm not going to. But yeah, it's no
Hostile
good.
UAV established
Damn,
overhead.
he's spawn killing.
MTC's in the red. It's now or never.
Whatever, man.
Enemy UAV inbound.
100%, huh? We got some tryhards, but I didn't know that about Control. I mean, he knew where we were gonna spawn, so that was pretty
Stay
crazy,
alert,
too.
Black Ops. We got a mole.
Yeah.
Watch your back. We're low on lives.
Dude, this is fucking crazy. Good thing you can't hit with me when I'm prone.
Hostile UAV established overhead. Taking B. Taking A.
That is a disadvantage, having less people, is that they can shoot you from every which way. Till the end, I like to say.
Your scrambler has been destroyed.
Okay, well, another sweep, so not looking great. A zoomed-in view of a reflective window out of a rainy window. A reflection of a window looking at... I don't know why. I don't know what I was on when I was writing this stuff. Nothing, actually, but... The penguin walks in and says he's getting forehead grease all over his window and calls him Kid. He quickly wipes it and says sorry, so I think Victor was just remembering something. Tonight's the night, Vic. Sophia's an elusive fucking broad, but she's leading us into a gold mine with Al's new drug. Vic takes this to mean they're sort of partners now, but Ben clarifies it's temporary. He believes when Lucas sees she's not playing nice, that the Falcones will take care of her, but he's confident he'll be running the whole thing by then. Vic asks if Luca is her cousin. Penguin tells her he's her uncle, and follows up by saying that all those fucks are related. 60 years ago, two Sicilian brothers jizzed all over the toe of that boot. Now I got 3 dozen Falcones breathing down my neck, which is a very classic Penguin line. So let's stop searching and we'll read for a little bit. So after I'm done reading, I should be done with page 8. After this, a short silence ensues, and Penguin asks Vic where his head's at. Says if he's still worried about the jewels, to not. As far as he's concerned, it's ancient history, because last episode, Victor messed up placing the jewels in Vidi's car and planting it on him. It still gives him a hard time saying he fucked up huge, but follows it up by saying he learned, and smiles. Vic says it won't happen again. Penguin is satisfied with this, says good because he needs his hand in the game, and tells him his job for the night is to drive him and Sophia, which shocks Vic. Penguin says that that's what the new clothes are for. He's his guy and can't have him looking like a schmuck, so I guess he clothed him by buying him clothes. After this, Penguin pulls out a wad of cash and says it just occurred to him that salary was never discussed. He starts him at $1,000 a week and says from now on you tell people your worth. How can anyone know it if you don't tell them? I said that I thought this was bad advice because I believe this gives you room to overvalue yourself, and I think it's just a ploy at self-confidence. Like the manifesting thing, like I think there's some validity, but most of it is just like you say something, but without actions to back it up, those words mean nothing. Sure enough, even though he was just pleasantly surprised by giving him that much money and Penguin valuing him right there at $1,000 a week, he asks for 2 instead. And the Penguin laughs and says he likes it, but no. And Vic easily accepts this, so he's clearly okay with being valued lower. Suddenly, the doorbell sounds, and the Penguin walks over, and then suddenly, the phone rings. Sorry, it's Sal. He claims he needs to take the call, which sends Victor into a panic, because the Penguin tells him to buy him some time. What if she asks about her brother and Castillo? Calmly, Oz tells him to tell her he had a hand in killing them both and see what happens. So, like, if she asks about Alberto, to be like, yeah, he's being sarcastic. So Victor's unamused, but no longer he looks afraid. Victor, I'm fucking with you. She's a pussycat. She is the hangman, says Victor. Don't believe everything you read in the papers. I thought he broke character when he said she is the hangman, thinking it sounded a little ridiculous, but that's okay. He's a great actor, nonetheless. So there's more knocks. Victor takes a deep breath. He keeps her waiting for a little bit, but Penguin's conversation is him trying to make sure Nadia, which is Sal's wife, which is the guy in prison that they talked to last time, is trying to make sure that Nadia passed along info about Vidi and Luca's wife. Eventually, Victor receives Sophia, and she looks very not frightening. She's very covered up. I don't know if this matters. Where's Oz? He's changing, says Victor. He relays with a stutter. Yeah, he's still stuttering a little bit. So Victor attempts politeness moderately well, and Sophia indulges to make herself at home. No seat taken, like she doesn't sit down, but she does grab a remote and turns on a fireplace, which also ends up cracking romantic salsa music. She turns it off and says it's tacky. Victor invites her to sit, and she says she'd rather not. I take this to mean that she still doesn't necessarily trust Oz. Poison needle and whatnot. Like, you know, when you don't trust someone, you don't want to sit down because you think they'll have a poison needle. I don't know how legit that is, but you'll sit on one or something. But I just made a note of that. Very cool lines here. Sophia asks where Oz found him, and he has answered this question before to another girl with money, but with a very different woman. One made her own fortune, and I'm saying this about Roxy. Whereas, like, Sophia's was a self-proclaimed heiress. Like, she inherited what she had, but she didn't get I don't know. We'll get to that. But I did say that Sophia was more dangerous. Victor just says he met him through work, and he worked on his car. I thought that was funny because he was trying to steal the wheels when he met him. So he's very obviously lying, and he has no confidence, lowering his gaze. She pulls out a cigarette. He grabs a lighter to try to assist her. You're a mechanic? Something like that, Victor says. Then why can't you work a lighter? Claims it's broken. She takes it and lights it herself, so... He's a bit of a liar. She's honestly amused. Asks his name. With confidence, he says, Victor. Victor, the young mechanic. Did you know Oz used to be my driver? Didn't think so. That's what Sophia says. Now Oz enters, which is the penguin if you didn't know. There she is. What'd I miss? I like your place, she says. He's so happy at this. Thank you, with a big smile. Understated. Let's go. She clears throat. Just us. Thought it was just an old shipment. Something like that. Come on, Oz. You're driving. Just like old times. Now Oz is less amused. It's clearly belittling behavior from Sophia, like calling him her driver again, like she used to be when he worked for her, but he doesn't make mind. I think he's used to this, and like we heard in the previous episodes, but Victor stays back. But I think it's also likely strategic to keep power on her side. Like, I think she did it more to, like, so she's the boss. Oz tells Victor to stay put, and if you do anything stupid, I'll sense it. Immediately calls Graciela, and she wonders where he's been. So I guess he hasn't been talking to her for a while. I wish I checked the date, but it really hasn't been that much time has passed since the whole thing happened, I realize now. So we cut to Penguin arriving and Sophia sitting in the back seat. He opens the door for her, and I said it wasn't very kingly. I don't know why I said that. He asks why they're there, and she is curious why he doesn't know if Alberto told him everything, and he brushes it off as if it wasn't a very detailed conversation. All he was told was that he had plans and he needed help, and I thought it was a good lie because it was vague enough to be considered true. One of her workers named Marco is brought over after she calls him, and she gives him pearls and jewels that she says have clarity and are untraceable. So he's happy and gives condolences about her brother, which she more or less ignores. She just says to tell his men to be careful. So I think those were the jewels that Oz was trying to plant in Vidi's car, and instead he put in Castillo's apartment to lay the blame on him, as if the reason that Castillo would have killed Alberto, even though we know that it was Oz, was due for money. All around, you see moving bins with Arkham State Hospital written on them with soil in them. This came from Arkham? I thought this was all Al's plan. So this is Penguin saying that, and Sophia says, I know you did. The scene changes, and they're in a kitchen-like room that is clearly a chemical lab, because the man she introduces him to, Trey Bloom, is a chemist. I thought that was a nice name, Bloom, to be the last name. Welcome, brother, offers a fist bump. That's what Bloom does. Penguin does not accept it and just asks what is in the tiny vial. So I guess he didn't appreciate their being on the same level, you know. Penguin wants to be above him. This scene is good. Enter the products room. Many hanging bags of soil with mushrooms are being grown out of these bags of soil. He's warned not to touch them because any change in moisture or humidity, no matter how slight, could wipe out the whole colony. Penguin is not amused because shrooms can be bought in any dorm room in Gotham. Sophia tells him he has a very limited imagination, and she says, come here. And then she takes off a mushroom to show the sap growing on. Trey gives more detail, and Penguin is still not understanding. They're the faceted spores? I don't know what that means. Penguin tries to up the smart, kind fella by saying, the fuck did you just say to me? I think he said fastidiated or something, and I guess I didn't know what that word meant either, but I think Penguin took it as an insult or just wanted to gain the upper hand. And he continues. He says, these are bleeding tooth fungi. They're a rare strain. This psychoactive compound, I'm also almost done, so I'm going to look for another match. The psychoactive compound in said reddish sap creates a potent euphoric stimulant, and it's a completely different high. Penn simplifies this to, so it's a party drug. Sophia chuckles and responds, sure, I suppose. And you took this in Gotham. She ignores the question, looking slightly uncomfortable, but it passes, and she informs of supplies coming in and how more is on the way. Penguin knows she can't use her connects or Luca will know. That's why you're here. And then when she says that, she looks happy and pretty, I said. She starts blinking a lot. Now's your time to shine, Oz. I said that she seemed a little starstruck at that. So we change scene to Penguin's apartment. There's a knock at the door. A smiling, more grown Graciela arrives, which I guess doesn't make sense because it was only like a week, but I guess that experience would grow anybody up. She has hoop earrings, a nose piercing, and earlobe rings. So glad you're safe. She's not mad at all at his ghosting. Colin's not with you, is he? She asks, because apparently he disappeared around the same time that Victor did. And I said, Victor being a teen. Graciela asks overly simple questions, and Vic responds, pretty much. Again, just vague enough to seem true. Drive around. Oh, so she's, okay, so he, I don't know why I missed this, but she asks him why he's there, and he tells her that he's Oz's driver. And so she asks if you just drive around this club owner and he just lets you stay here. And I said, since he's a teenager, he overly simplifies the question by saying pretty much. She explains it in a very simple way and he just agrees. So he grabs them beers but makes sure that she uses a coaster. He doesn't want to leave traces. She calls the place bougie, which makes him laugh, but she passes on the compliment as if she's worried her comment may have made him insecure, but he liked it. I'm bougie? I don't know. Yeah, because she ends up... I don't know why I did such a bad job today writing this stuff, so I apologize, but she calls him bougie as well. And he's like, oh, you think I'm bougie? Because I think he felt a little insecure that his boss's place was all bougie. And he's like, you're bougie too. He says, you look good. She says, I missed you. And he goes in for a kiss and she rejects it. I'm leaving, Victor. She says she's going to California and Victor is dumbfounded. Why would you do that? He stutters out. Because our school is underwater and I don't want to live in a FEMA camp anymore. Victor's in shock. Yeah, but your life is here. And she says, not anymore. Our families are dead. We gotta take care of ourselves now. I thought this was a good point. She's a smart woman and that women do mature faster. I made that note. When are you going? She says tomorrow night and she's taking a bus out. Victor tries to change the topic, offering to eat pizza, so it's clearly made him a little upset. Victor, hey, you got a good thing going here. I'm really happy for you. This is what you want, right? And he looks down and doesn't answer. Because you could come with me. We could start over. Victor looks at her with sad puppy dog eyes. Really? As if he doesn't believe her. And he blames the penguin, says he's not sure that penguin would let him go. This confuses Graciela, and Vic goes on to explain that Oz isn't just a club owner. He's like a gangster. I thought that was a really good line. She says, oh. I said I like this because it further defines the penguin's character with recognizable and old-timey word. Think Al Capone, you know, he's a gangster, and you can put a face to this word, gangster. And Vic explains that he's seen stuff he shouldn't have seen, and also thinks the penguin is lonely and likes having him around. Which I thought was like, damn, yo, but whatever. He says he's unsure what the penguin would do if he left. And I usually think that this would make sense of you being afraid for your family, but since he doesn't have any left, I'm confused what he's so afraid of for going. Graciela says that in that case, that he should definitely leave. There's nothing good that can come from working from a guy like that. That is not who you are. When she says this to him, he says that she sounds like his dad. And she apologizes, but he says it's not a bad thing. And, this is taking a while. He gets a text that Penguin is coming and he panics, but only slightly, and says that she has to go and he gives her money. Not all of it, I think it's about half, and he tells her to stay somewhere nice and to get him a ticket. She's happy at this, but she questions if he's planning to tell his boss, to which he says he'll figure it out and kisses her. After this, she leaves his apartment. His apartment 301, I made a note of the number. I just think he doesn't seem very sure or very happy. He doesn't seem like he has a plan, but we'll see what happens. The scene changes to Sophia arriving somewhere and she's confronted by a glasses-wearing Vidi. They're not sunglasses, they're normal glasses. A big man with a gun is in frame, and they're placed intentionally within the shot to prompt Sophia to ask a question regarding all the muscle and all the cars. She says this to avoid sharing where she's been, I think. I think he asked her, and she didn't say it. Come on, cuz. Give me some luck, give me some luck. Vidi says that they all have to lay low until shit dies down. What's your grand plan? Our men are being gunned down by the Maronis in broad daylight, and she cracks a smile, throwing a fucking sleepover. So those were Sophia's words. She's being a little condescending here. But clearly she's pleased with herself, I said, and the belittling comment she's also pleased with. I don't know. I think she's definitely an interesting character. And I think she's insinuating that she could handle the situation better than them, because her methods would be more offensive than defensive, I think. Vidi returns the belittling, saying this business ain't your business. Take a fucking hint. He continues by saying Luca is the head of the family. So when he tells you to go to Italy, you go to fucking Italy. So I guess that's something that happened last episode that I can't even really remember anymore. He hands her a plane ticket. It's a Luminaire Airlines. It's a first class seat, 3A, late evening on Thursday, November 20th, 2022. So it must be November 19th or something. So about a couple of weeks have passed since the whole attack happened. And I said it seems nice because it's to Rome. She pauses and then asks, did he print out this boarding pass himself? Which ends up amusing him. But he goes on, look, honey, you're not right in the head. That's pretty damn clear. But I'm not scared of you. All I see is a spoiled brat who got what she deserved. Which is tough, but he says what he means, I think. But this very obviously hurts Sophia. Kind of like two friends fighting until one goes too far. She collects herself and then thanks him. Slight smile and asks for some time. He interrupts her and says 2 days. And you gotta go to Italy or that's where I'll tell people you wouldn't. Clearly threatening to kill her. Another scene change, and it's Victor driving Penguin's car and drops him off outside a club in broad daylight, meeting Sophia. It's in Chinatown. Sophia wavers, saying her dad pushed the triads out of the drug game. Undisclosed time frame, I made a note of. But Penguin says he was there and calls her doll, which is what he calls Eve, which I thought was interesting. He calls her doll, which is, I don't know, a little bit too kind, I think. But Penguin defends this choice because they need someone who won't rat them out as soon as they tell them their plan. So I said there's mutual interests. I don't know what the heck I wrote here. I'd waver? I don't know. Victor takes a drink out of the back, which Penguin calls a hospitality gift. Sophia seems to know personnel, as when they are going in, Sophia questions why they are going to a deputy, and that she will only authorize a partnership with Feng Zhao. Okay, so I think so they're at a club, and Sophia doesn't like who they're going to because she wants someone higher up. And he quickly says, "We don't have a relationship with Feng Zhao," which is the leader of the triads, I'm guessing. You got me, and I got Link. So this is the connection he has, this guy named Link. Penguin is happy with this and tells Victor to stay back. The bar is dark in the day. Penguin says to somebody that he's here to see Link Z. They check him for weapons. They find one. He goes to check Sophia, and she puts a hand up and says it's in the back. She turns around, he checks her, and Penguin tells her he didn't know that she was carrying. To which she says, "I figured you were, so that's why she's carrying as well." Yeah, I'm guessing people either just like play Call of Duty like late at night or something, and then they're probably just all going to sleep now. I mean, I think some people might play before work, but it's a Saturday, so I guess people aren't playing now either. But if we just read and we only got those 2 games in, then so be it. I mean, there's plenty more to come. I'll see what I do for that. This was honestly a pretty tough chapter for me. It was like really, it took me a really long time to do it, but I still think it's worth doing. I guess that's why I brought up the Pretty Little Liars, because I would have liked to have seen a 3rd season, but I also understand like their target audience probably wasn't people like me, but I was the target audience they ended up getting because it was like a very gory, very horrific like show. But times change, and that's okay. I think it was worth doing and maybe worth seeing as well. So because she figured that he was carrying, she wanted to carry as well. So Link comes down into surprise. The person who disarmed them points the weapon at them, and Sophia mentions in a whisper that maybe they should have called ahead, to which Penguin whispers, "Sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness." And that's the old saying, sometimes it's better to ask forgiveness than to ask permission, and that's usually when you think that someone's gonna say no to you. So you get your foot in the door, and then after they might understand why you did that. But you can, I also think it's good to build relationships that way, to like see, because if it's something you really want to do, like if they really love you, they should be okay with that. But it depends. You gotta like handle that. It's a very difficult thing. That's why it's a very controversial saying. But apparently Oz owes Link money for oh wait, Oz owes Link money for a cigarette truck that he gave him back in the day, and the gifts aren't enough. And Penguin mentions that if he ever truly left him hanging, there'd be a bullet between his eyes. He says he's got a real opportunity for him, but he mentions that it's difficult to focus with a gun pointed at him. So Link tells his man, not yet, in a foreign language, though I think it's Chinese, but I'm not sure. And then he obeys, he puts the gun down. Link addresses Sophia Falcone, saying they never met, but that he knows who she is. And she says, "Good for you," and smiles. And then she says, "This is why we're here," and places a vial of like the drug, I'm guessing. Penguin speaks for her, saying, "We're calling it Bliss." That's the name of the chapter, Bliss. And I'm guessing the name of the drug is Bliss as well. So we're back out to Victor, and we zoom into the pile of drugs, and Victor is practicing what he's gonna say to the Penguin. "The girl means a lot to me. You do too. You know I'm not a rat. If I say anything, I'd never." And then he just looks and he's like, he's gonna kill me. So he looks out the back window, and there's a cop approaching, and Victor prepares himself, almost understanding. "Step out of the car, son." He does, and after Victor asks what he's done wrong, the cop tells him it's a loading zone. Since he asked with a stutter, the cop assumes he's nervous. He tells Victor to put his hand on the vehicle, and he gets searched, and he finds the wad of cash. This is a lot of money for a kid your age to be carrying around. Cop has a serious face on, so Vic slows down and says, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any money." And so the cop understands that this is clearly an attempt at a bribe, and he says, "Guess not. As soon as your boss is back, get out of here." And then so we go back inside. So it clearly worked. Link gets the bigger picture now. It's a coup. 2 of them want to take over the Falcone family. It's a coup, which is basically like a mutiny where they take over from the inside. Penguin laughs at the use of the word. He says, "What, you reading books or something?" Because it seems like the 2 of them are going to take over the Falcone family in the middle of a gang war. But he reframes it, and he calls it more of a corporate restructuring. And Sophia nods, but seems a little uneasy. It's cool to note that Oz may never have received a formal education, but is quick to understand the meaning of the word coup. Like, he's able to use context clues, so that's like a type of street smart over knowledge smart thing. So Penguin says that they have support, and Link says who? Penguin says Johnny Vitti, and Link calls bullshit. Penguin shows that he's fake hurt, and he says, "You think I'd come here with no help?" Sophia jumps in, chooses her side, claims Vitti is her mother's cousin, and that they are very close. Link still doesn't buy it, and he wants proof. The Penguin jokes about a potential letter of recommendation, and Link says he just wants a direct phone call. Penguin says his word is good, but can tell by Link's face that he doesn't believe him. So he'll set Vitti to call the old man. Okay, so we played some Control. I'll put Control in the lineup, but I don't think we're getting a game. So let's, I don't know. Let's do the ones that we've already played. So Search and Destroy and Hardpoint. That way we can save the other one. We'll see if I can get a game, honestly. And let me find my glasses. There they are. But it just might be that type of day. So he jokes about a letter of recommendation, but Link just says he wants a direct phone call. Penguin says his word is good, but can tell by Link's face that he doesn't believe him. So he'll set Vitti to call the old man. Camera jumps to Sophia and it's very demanding, and she says, "You're gonna get us an audience with Zhao." She's confident that he's gonna be able to do this. And he says, once the Penguin's able to do this, you're gonna get us an audience with Zhao, and there's gonna be a trial run for this drug. And the camera stays on her for a little while longer as Penguin takes over the conversation again. I assume it's to show her pleasure at how she's handling the situation, and she wants the meeting tonight. And Penguin says once it goes down without a hitch, that they'll get him a fair price. And I think I meant he. I've been writing she instead of he a lot, but but I know who I'm talking about. Oh my god. All right, let's see if I can turn the tide here.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Oh, I saved my teammate at least. That's always nice to do. It's a good start. We just switched hard points. We'll see if we can hold this. We should be able to come back if we can get 2 long hard point holds. And we do have 6 players each. I sometimes like using Molotovs as spots, but I think I might change my class a little bit after this game. Just because it hasn't been going as well as I would have hoped. Like, the Molotovs, like, seem fun, but I can't really tell if they're all that practical.
UAV available for tasking.
One chance to fight fair and
I didn't hit a single shot, so I'm not going to get credit for that limb either if I'm trying to get this here. But let's go ahead and get to the next hard point, see if I can do any damage.
Hardpoint active. Hardpoint
Good kill, whoever killed.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
It's going to be tough in those close quarters, but we caught back a little bit with that hard point hold, but we're going to have to do a little more than that. So I did change the scope. I think it's a little bit more zoomed in than it was before. Don't know if I changed anything else. I might have.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
UAV standing by.
Just trying the counter in the UAV as we try to get this last hard point.
Hardpoint located.
UAV commencing surveillance operation.
Hostiles have
This one's a
captured the
tough one because
hardpoint.
you have to climb up in order to get to it. There's also a lot of really good vantage
Hardpoint
points.
is active.
Counter UAV 50% fuel remaining.
Hardpoint is secure.
UAV NTL
Got sniped.
50%. Check.
Should have known better, but sometimes I win those.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
God damn it! Fuck! I hate when that happens.
UAV returning.
Oh my god, are you serious? My teammates are kind of scared. Dude, why would you walk in front of my freaking gun? That's sometimes why I have problems with the characters sometimes getting mad when you shoot them, because sometimes they literally have just walked in. At least I contested it for a little bit, but he's gonna hold that. I know where he is, though.
Hardpoint active. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Spring mine.
Where did that come from? This is a winnable game, but we're gonna have to play a little better than we have been. No win there. Oh, he's using the Samantha, the Sam Trials calling card I used to use. I need to switch to Flak Jacket again. Ninja's not really doing me much good. It's pretty fun to get those finishing moves and stuff, but like I said, it's not doing much good here.
Hardpoint locked down.
incoming lethal.
Needed that kill. I haven't been getting as many doubles as would be better for like a winnable game. I think we can still win, but I need to be getting double
Hardpoint
kills.
located.
Fighting.
That would have been a double kill, but I can probably still get something similar.
Hardpoint is active.
Hostile, neutralize your scrambler.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
I also have a crazy extended mag on because, dude, I need to start getting some kills, especially on the ones laying prone like that. But the extended mag is like almost a must for most because of like the potential for doubles, like double kills and things of that nature. But I think they might. I'm gonna have to start to play their game and watch these spawns. Oh my god.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Oh my lord. We're just gonna have to get the next one, sadly. We did a good job with it last time, and they're contesting it, but yeah, it's just not going great.
Hardpoint locked down.
At least we got a couple of points on that.
Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
What the fuck? I did not know you could look through there.
Sit rep. LDBR incoming.
I gotta get inside before this falls.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Good. That was a huge hold. That was a bad little section here, but this should be okay. Damn it! Fuck! That's bad. That was pretty good. He hold right there. I'm pretty disappointed though.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint is secure.
That was a nail. He nailed me. Direct hit. Alright, we're down by 30, but we were down by 70, so now it's just trying to play better here. But this is a tough one. Not as tough as 5 was, and might still continue to be. Dude, oh my god. We spawned so... Oh wait, we spawned close. This is good. This is a great spawn. Oh my god, they're using the trophy system so well, but we're spawning so close by. Good.
Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
Good kill. But yeah, if we can't hold 5, we're losing this game. If we can hold 5 the whole time, we can win. But it's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna reload.
Hardpoint active.
If I had gotten some headshots, it would have been worth it. But let's see, if we can get to 1, we're probably gonna win. But if we can't, we're gonna lose. Dude, I need that kill. I need that kill. Nobody wants to jump on it, so like we're losing. Fucking jump on and kill his ass. Oh my god, I'm fucking furious.
Work out what went wrong and fix it.
Work out what went wrong and fix it? Honestly, people are just scared to hop on the hard point. Same problems I had last time. I'm pissed. So Sophia's very demanding. She wants what she wants. She's gonna get it, I think. And I'm pissed that I couldn't kill this one. They had a good team. They played well. Whatever.
Good effect on target.
So the camera stays on a little while, and then the penguin takes over the conversation again. And I assume it's to show her pleasure. Whatever, man, be happy. They weren't assholes about it, they just played us better. Camera stays on her even after Penguin takes over the conversation again, and I assume it's to show her pleasure at how she's handling the situation. She wants the meeting tonight, and Penguin says once it goes down without a hitch that they'll get him a fair price. Sophia backs him. Back to Link. I always knew it'd be a matter of time before you made a move, Oz. I didn't think it would happen like this, and he motions over to Sophia. Assuming you hold up your end of the bargain, I'll get you a sit down with the Tylo. I guess that's a term or something. Let's try this new map. It's honestly really cool, because it's based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's also kind of like Aquarium from Black Ops 3 if you've played that DLC map, because I think it was an add-on later. I really like that skin that she has, that vampire, or I don't know, that demon thing. It's kind of scary, but I can handle it. Assuming you hold up with your end of the bargain, I'll get you a sit down with the Tylo, says Link. After that, it's out of my hands, and he gets up, signaling the end of the conversation. After Link leaves, Sophia asks Oz what he's not telling her about Johnny Vitti, and we know Vitti is fucking his boss's wife, but Oz withholds this information for now, instead opting to make Sophia laugh by pointing out how he can tell she's having fun now, and she gets serious after like laughing, telling Oz. She's trying to get serious, saying Oz, but her childlike nature takes over the atmosphere. He tells her she's just gonna have to trust him and that he has a plan. Her uneasiness returns, but you can tell she may feel a little out of place after losing her cool, like when she laughed. I think this is one of the first maps I tried out this AS Val with, so we'll see how it goes after some time. There's a lot of long-range encounters, and I still do have a little bit of problems with the lack of damage that it does, but I think it just makes me, a little bit more skilled, so that's why I think I'm using it for Prestige 10. That was really close. I'm so glad I dropped that. Sometimes with these scopes, it's really harder to move side to side like that. I forgot to search. Damn, I could have probably done a little better there. That's unfortunate. We got 1-on-3. I don't think this is gonna go very well. He's getting chased. You can tell on the map. Very well done. Very well done. The master of the TMNT, or whatever, the teacher of the TMNT did not do a great job right there. 1v1. Reload. Regen health on A. They're probably at B somewhere. Don't get too overconfident here, but be composed. The sniper. Not the LR, but I think it's bolt action as well. Alright, bomb planted. You need to defuse it, so it's not just enough to get the kill here. I'm glad I kept Ninja on. I hear movement.
Loaning one up.
Good shit, mid Diddy. 1v3. Hell yeah. Let's go.
Charges defused. Now, hit them again before they
So yeah,
mount
the scene is gonna change once we end this game, and I'll keep reading. Oz is out with Victor at a nice restaurant, and he's laughing. The vibes are good. The vibes are good. But let's finish this game, and then we'll keep reading on. Okay, I'm on page 15 of 28 and a half, so we're almost halfway done. We should be able to get maybe 3 games after this. So if I want to get 3 games with about 12, 13 pages, I'll need to do another 4 at a time. So after this game, I'll read 4. After that, I'll read 4. After that, I'll read maybe 5. And maybe I'll play one more game after that, I guess. Am I Crimson? Yeah, I guess I'll take the bomb. I'm going to be a little more aggressive. I kind of want to see if we can get A, but this, just to be an asshole there, get a little pip on the head. Good kill, mid Diddy. I love that Ninja doesn't make you absolutely silent, but it does make you much quieter. See if I can flank here. We take those.
One fugitive remains. Terminate with extreme prejudice. MTC's nearly dry. Get serious, Crimson. You're the last one standing. Finish the job.
Alright. Every advantage I can get, I will be happy with. I don't really want to plant the bomb. I might have to. God damn, I got cooked.
Take it on the chin.
I didn't want to
Get
plant the
ready for
bomb.
next round.
That's on me. Disappointing. At least we're gonna get a good game out of this. Fuck. Yeah. I thought maybe being right-handed might help me there, but I'm gonna have to go after that man's. I did okay. I could have done better though.
Search and destroy.
Gotta use that as motivation though.
Defend the objective.
I got a little overconfident with the sightlines, but I don't want to be like the Penguin, where I just forget and everything's ancient history, because I do think there's value. I couldn't kill a single one, but I killed somebody with the... I should have gotten more kills there. I was just saying, I don't really like to just forget, you know? I do think there's value in forgiveness, but to forget what's happened, you can't really improve on that. So I could just keep moving. That might affect my mental game, but I don't know. I don't know. I sometimes I gotta be in the zone. I gotta remember that, because I know that this is still one game, and I want to get in a situation like that in the future and succeed this time. So I guess it just threw me off that situation right there wasn't like that at all. I was getting pinned down behind that truck, and my team's doing okay, but it's 2-on-1. They really should be able to handle this.
Secure the target.
They really should be able to handle this. Good job, Chewy Dog. That's the type of thing that I'm talking about, because it's not about me, it's about the team. So even though I couldn't beat him last time, my team beat him for me. I'm gonna say it's soft. Thanks for the...
Search and destroy.
See if I can make up for it this game.
Shoot to kill. We're not here to negotiate.
But I lost my bomb
Hostile UAV
privileges.
established overhead.
I gotta reload behind cover this time.
Bomb drop.
Oh, fuck. They already knew where I was. We can win this game, though. Because we're only down by 1, so this will be a tie after this. We have a good team aspect here, but sometimes being a good team isn't enough to win a game. You gotta have the skill and the... I don't want to say precision, but I'm trying to say about, like, the moments. Like, in the big moments, you gotta step up. But this Chewy dog is a very recent Master Prestige. He's got the Cerberus right there. We're attacking again. It does seem like...
MTC's nearly dry. Get serious, Crimson.
I went for the bomb, but I gotta be able to get some of these kills in the tough settings. There's one.
Fuck you.
He doesn't have a suppressor. So he just got spotted. That's usually my concern with reloading. If your magazine is big enough. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. We can win this game. We really, really can. Now it's my turn to avenge him. Because this Baby Oil Bandit is the head of the snake right now. It does seem like they have some good players as well. Hopefully he didn't get another UAV. But the Jackal PDW is going to be a problem at close range. He killed me with a Cypher though, so he seems he has multiple classes.
Destroyed.
Let's lock in.
CIA, you're cleared hot. Work your frag lists.
I seem to be doing a little bit better being like in the center here. I gotta be better. I gotta be better. I really gotta be better. This team is good, but I think it's very winnable. Let's go, Jay. We have walk. Oh, but he's a 1-on-3. You gotta be careful with those reload times. But I mean, that's something that you can take just watching this. Be careful reloading immediately after a kill. I can't see how much he had left, but sometimes doing that, you put yourself in a bad position. Like right now, even though he had a full magazine, or she, I don't know, you end up being a little startled because you don't know that you have enough yet. I know it doesn't always seem like you'll have enough to get the kill, but you probably could. So we gotta win this one now. This is kind of like in the NBA where you don't really want to go down 2.
We have our orders. See it through.
We lost our best fighter. No more AFK. This is the flank.
One fugitive remains. Terminate with extreme prejudice. We're planting the bomb.
Enemy found.
All hostiles eliminated. Messy work.
That was the type of round we needed there. But the flanking is a super effective strategy on Search, especially with Ninja on. I had help there, but I'm glad my teammate didn't die. He gets to hold on to their kill streak. And we did that without our highest performing player at the time. What is that? Plants? Objective score? I guess the final kill is some objective, huh?
Protect the objectives.
Oh, fuck! Alright, we're still keeping it close, but we got cooked that round.
Clean it up.
Not your best work. Clean it up. I made it down the middle, but I couldn't get that kill. I think I'm gonna try to stick with my teammates this time. Going solo worked for a time, and leading the way as well. But I think now that we have less players, it might be better to have a little bit more help here. Do we have 5 players or
You know
only
what
4?
Langley expects. Get it done.
We have 5.
Semtex out.
We're setting up the bomb. Bomb active.
Cock. He has a good spot for it, but I lost a baby oil bandit. No! No! I don't mind the approach. I don't mind the approach here.
Enemies have disarmed the bomb.
This is tough. This is
Take it on
tough.
the chip
It's
round.
game point now. We really got to win this next round if we want any chance here. Yeah, I don't really know that search is a big advantage having less players here, because with control it's different. Because if people if one person can string a lot, he plays well, and he's running Jackal now, so it seems to be he's a lot more close range. I got to keep that in consideration here.
Search and destroy. Defend the objective.
Using Molotov.
There's my game. Well, I went the wrong way. It is what it is. Let's just keep reading, I guess. Oz is out with Victor at a nice restaurant and he's laughing. Claims, "You must have pissed yourself." So then what? Cops finds you money. So, you know, the classic Red Dead Redemption 2 scene continuation, conversation continuation. And Penguin reacts saying he took the whole fucking G? Because Victor explains how the cop takes it and he just goes, "What money?" Vic laughs a little bit. Oh yeah, he took the whole fucking G, but we know he gave about half to Graciela, I think. But Victor just says yeah, and Penguin says, "Yep, that's the cost of doing business," which I kind of liked the way he said that, even though it's an unfortunate situation. In a lot of those businesses and business in general, sometimes you're gonna lose money in ways that you feel like you're robbed, and there's no real choice there. STFU? Dang, I missed what it said. Maybe I'll watch it on the replay though. Penguin takes a huge swig of wine, and I'm thinking maybe he's gonna ask to get reimbursed, but there's more silence instead. Victor goes to speak, and the waiter cuts him off to take their orders. At this point, I understand. He was likely about to talk about Graciela, but Penguin orders quick. And Victor says he wants steak and he struggles to get the word out, and the waiter gives him a good amount of time, but eventually he finishes it for him. The steak frites, and Penguin gets upset, telling him, "Hey, don't do that. The man's trying to speak." And whether Vic appreciated this or not, I can't tell. But it is clear that the Penguin doesn't want anyone giving him shortcuts because of his stutter. Similar to how the Penguin refuses to sit in the handicapped seats on the train, I think. Victor says his order, and the waiter says, "Right away, sir." And Penguin whispers, "See that? He's trying to save his tip." I thought that was like a pretty proper asshole move on the Penguin, for my opinion, because he was just doing his job, and I don't think he meant it out of bad. He just isn't as familiar, and sometimes that's good to have awareness, but I don't know. I think I don't know if Victor appreciated it or not, but he might have. I think he may have said thanks, but I didn't write it down. No, Victor says, "You know, you ain't gotta do that," and Penguin says, "Yeah, I know. You should do it. Fuck what they think. Let them wait. Take up space. You got fight in you, Vic. You gotta let it out." And I agreed with that about, like, you know, you gotta be seen, you gotta take up space and stuff, but I think there's like a balance to it, but he's just trying to teach him a lesson on his end, what he believes. What'd your parents do? Like, what line of work were they in? And so the mom was a home health aide, and Penguin's like, okay, but when he says his dad was a mechanic and a chef, Penguin seemed more interested in what the dad did. Victor speaks up about the chef. Lots of detail on the types of dishes he made and ingredients, lots of culture, Hispanic culture, carnitas, snails, I think. I don't know if that's Spanish culture. Concludes by saying he doesn't think his dad got to eat in a lot of nice restaurants like this, and Penguin says, That ain't right. That ain't fucking right. And he goes on to say the line that defines the season that was used a lot of their advertising. The world ain't built for the honest man to succeed. He goes on to compliment the profession of a mechanic and how that should be the American dream with a happy ending. But that ain't the way the world works, Vic. I slightly disagree with this just because I don't think everyone like wants to or needs to be rich. You know, some people want that, and yeah, you might need to be like a business owner or something of that nature to have that. But like, if you want to just work a standard job and be an employee and have a family, like that's something to show for as well. Like, in order to have a business structure like that, you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and maybe that wasn't one that Victor's dad wanted to make. But Penguin, being the mentor here, I think wants Victor to follow more of a path that he took. He continues. He says, America is a hustle. What was his name? And he says Juan Ramon Aguilar. And Penguin raises a glass to Juan Ramon Aguilar and says that he raised a good son and that his dad would be proud of him. Across the restaurant, you see a nicely dressed but immodestly dressed lady in black, and she gets up and starts to walk out. Penguin says, it's go time, Vic. And he goes over, but he seems to have been more interested in the lady who was sitting across from her than the one that got up. And she was wearing a black and white fur coat, and he calls her Tina, and she calls him Oz, and questions his reason for being there kindly. And he says he needs a favor that is gonna sting, and Penn walks away and the camera locks in on her uncertain face. We switch over to Sophia walking briskly. She holds up a card, and Penguin says, took ya long enough. The hallway is nice, and as they approach a room, 800, sure enough, it's a key to the room, and they both enter to a lovemaking in progress. Her top is on, and plenty of covers, so there's nothing too indecent about the scene, but VD knows he's been had. Like, they're having sex, but you can't see any of it. And Sophia shoos Tina, but before she departs, Sophia calls her by name with a smile and tells her not to forget her panties. I detected a twinge of jealousy in Sophia's eyes, but who can say for sure? And plus, that's her uncle, so probably a little weird, but sometimes, you know, she might want, I don't know, whatever. That was just something I noticed. After the door slams, Penguin laughs and VD starts. Breathe one word of this to Luca and I swear all. Penguin cuts him off and taunts him. What? Your ghost will haunt me? That gets a chuckle out of Sophia. It's good to see her happy, I said. Penguin finishes. Gotta say, fucking the boss's wife, that's Bush League. And Bush League is like a term for like when you do something like really messed up, like hitting below the belt in a game or something like that. VD asks for terms that they want and questions why they're working together. Sophia quickly interjects, Oz is working for me. Oz notes this, but doesn't refute it. I think that Oz is prideful, but in silence. VD goes, are you fucking serious? You're going against Luca to back a psychopath? And he's talking to Penguin at this point. You're gonna back her too, Vite. That's why we're here. Clearly no shame because he's looking strong and they look like rats at LMAO. I don't know what's wrong with me. The scene is funny because VD's there like with his shirt off under the covers, like very comfortable. And Sophia and Oz, they look like they've been out all day, like they're tired, they're kind of disheveled. So I thought they looked a little radish, but that's kind of mean. So I don't know. And I don't think she appreciates you calling her a psycho after Penguin says that they should back her. And Sophia quickly goes, he's absolutely right, I don't. Which I thought was hilarious too. Penguin and Sophia start to cooperate and get down to business about what's going on. She passes him the phone and needs Vite to call name and say they have his business, his backing. I think it's Link or whatever. Vite questions harshly about their demands. Lying to the head of the triads? Are you fucking nuts? I thought Vite's a great actor, I don't know. And then Penguin says, doesn't have to be a lie. We could all get rid of Luca together. Penguin says, I get rich, Sophia gets the family, you get to fuck Tina's brains out by the beach with white sand somewhere. Everybody's happy. And Sophia quickly hops in and says, sounds good, right? And I said if I were her actress, I would have tried to fight this lion like how Jenna Ortega used to do on Wednesday. Because like, I thought it was a little like so softening, but at the same time, like maybe, I don't know. I thought it was cute though, because it made it seem like maybe she was more jealous of Viti than Tina. Like, it's not that she wanted to get fucked, it's that she wanted to fuck Tina. I don't know. In my opinion, that's kind of the jealousy that I was getting. It seems like that the beach thing sounded nice to her. So the Penguin hops in and says, what do you say? And Viti ignores the question and looks straight at Sophia. You know, Sophia, I thought you knew better than to trust this asshole. And then the camera jumps to Sophia, and clearly the word struck a chord with her because her eyebrows go up and she begins to light a cigarette, which is sometimes like a coping mechanism to do drugs when things are stressful or drink or something. And then Viti goes on, you know, especially after what he did to you. Penguin cuts him off. What I did to her? What? You shut the fuck up. But he goes on. Carmine had him on the 44, but apparently Carmine never respected the Penguin. This is Viti explaining it to Sophia. I bet you don't respect him either, do you? And I thought that she was a great actress here because her eyes were blinking a little bit more than they were. She had the cigarette in her mouth and it looked like she had like a pacifier a little bit because she's so unsure. And I think it's because Viti is so much closer to family than Penguin is. Like, should she be trusting him? So she looks Penn up and down as this is going, and the camera moves over to Penguin, noticing that Sophia is looking him up and down, and then looks at Viti, and you can see there's a subtle anger in the Penguin. But Viti continues. Now it's directed at Penn. Sure, you're fun at a card game or over drinks, I'll give you that, but people don't keep you around because they think you're smart, and they sure as shit don't trust you. People keep the Penguin, with emphasis on Penguin, as if like he doesn't appreciate her calling her a psycho. Well, he's gonna call him the Penguin, around as entertainment, because everyone knows that you're a goddamn joke. And at this point, the Penguin attacks Vidi with a pen, putting it in his mouth and looking like he's gonna take out a back tooth by force. Vidi has time to defend himself, but Penguin uses his strength and mass to make himself felt. Definitely one way to shut him up, although it's not a lethal method by putting, it's like a pen in his mouth. He's like, so he's like yelling him loudly, "You're trying to kick Sophia out of the family," and she looks on and is intrigued, and I note that it's not like she could stop him from doing it anyway, but it didn't seem like she'd have wanted to do that either. To me, it's a bullshit public display of loyalty, but some women are very prone to this type of protection, especially the ones who can't do it themselves. These are my words, because I thought that I don't really know if the Penguin is that trustworthy when it comes to Sophia, especially what he said to, we know what he said to Victor, but you know, I think Sophia was like honored that she did that for him. This struggle lasts a while and he finishes by calling a two-timing fucking chord beat. I don't know what that means. A two-timing fucking beat. He said some chord. I don't know what that means. If I said that. I thought the audio team did an amazing job here because it was really tense and you could hear the squelching in the mouth. And after he lets him go, he looks at Sophia and he pops his collar and then looks back and winks at Vidi. Penguin gives him the phone and says, "I'm gonna look for another game now. Make the fucking call." Vidi catches his breath, upbeat music starts, and Sophia exhales some smoke. Respect is earned, they do say. Those are my words. The scene changes, dancing silhouettes at a club. Then overhead view of a hella-packed upper echelon club with bright red hues and dancing. It's like lighting. Up on a balcony, Penguin is in a white suit with a blonde next to him in a yellow dress, and I said it was for eye candy because I didn't know who she was, if she was anyone important. And Sophia is behind this eye candy looking down as well, like the same as Penguin. Both women have drinks, but Sophia is not as happy as the candy is. So I'll continue this after this game.
Hardpoint.
Alright, now I'm joining a winning
Use of
game,
deadly force has been approved.
and I didn't put on flak jacket again. Double kill, finally. Just didn't do it with my gun. That was a good amount of kills. I probably could have gotten more there, but okay. Let's see if I can get some more here now.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Hostile target. Tactical spot.
My Molotov is
Hardpoint
doing
is
work.
secure.
Dang, I gotta hit the deck a little faster. I'm not even playing like hardcore or anything. I don't like hardcore because I do like the ability to get away from engagements, and I think it's a little bit more skill-based than just getting off the first shot. But hey, I don't know. Some people might like it.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint active.
Uh-huh.
Hardpoint locked down.
SATCOM, give me a UAV.
How? That's the type of situation I'm talking about. That should have been a kill, and it wasn't. Hardcore it would have been, but like I said, I gotta get good.
Charlie.
God damn, I'm not getting any kills. It's the gun, I know, but it has its perks, and I'm like challenging myself this prestige to use it exclusively.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down.
Flashbang incoming.
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint is secure.
I would really like to get some kills with my gun, preferably, but it's
Bad
fine.
guy, 12 o'clock.
Bad guy, 12 o'clock. Does not seem like I'm gonna get my wish. At least not yet, of course.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Hostile, neutralize your scrambler.
Bring it in recon.
I guess I'll use my pistol and try and get that challenge.
Hardpoint locked down.
We
Point
love those
located.
yells of agony. Guess I shouldn't speak for you all, but I sure enjoy it. Under the right
Hardpoint
circumstances, of course.
Hardpoint is secure.
Eyes on enemy mark. Check your sights.
There we go. This is the game I'm looking for here. I know we joined a winning team, but sometimes it's just the way it is. Can I get the limb, please? I need 9 pistol kills.
Feel that? They're about to break.
I could probably
Give
get
them
that
enough.
next game, admittedly, and I might pop a double XP token to try and get it. Well, that didn't work.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Kane requesting UAV.
Hard point identified.
Kane requesting LCR fire mission.
Semtex incoming.
Hard point is active.
Alright, well, they're trying to come back. I wish they'd do the LBBR. Yep, there we go.
Hostile care package inbound.
TACOM, I need eyes overhead.
Hostile
So this is kind of like the last like long scene of the episode. So I think I should be able to play like 2 games after this.
Hard point locked down.
Deploying Archangel.
There we go. That's the double I was looking for. Triple? Triple? I doubt it.
Deploying Archangel.
It was a triple. Let's go. Who needs doubles?
Toss and frack.
Hard point located.
Didn't count as an limb. I must have regen health. Alright, this is pretty far. This isn't exactly like Aquarium by any means. I think it's much smaller and there's a lot less to it. But this area right here inside, it kind of reminded me a lot of Aquarium, and I think it was reused.
Hard point locked down. Hard point is secure. Hostiles have
Smoke?
captured
What
the hard
smoke?
point.
UAV available for tasking. Archangel going hot.
God damn these Semtexes.
UAV in the turn. We have eyes on.
Hostile stunned.
Hard point identified. Hostiles have the hard point.
Your UAV has been destroyed.
Hard point locked down. Hard point is active. Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Eat this.
There's a mole among them.
God damn
Find
it.
them.
Oh wow, and that mole got a finishing move on him too. I feel so bad for that man's. Gotta use his cover though. God damn, I got stuck. He just got a triple kill himself. You know, it's these points in the game where you're not like too worried about losing that you just like stop caring. But I mean, it would have been nice to hold them under 100, but that was not destiny today.
Hard point is secure. Hard point located. Stand down, Crimson. We have what we came
Yes,
for.
that's how you break them.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. Both women have drinks, but Sophia is not as happy as Candy. Vic is behind looking down at something with focus. On turning around, Penguin also has a drink, but it's more of a cup than a tall glass. Alright, listen up. Today we are bringing something new to the good people of Gotham. It's a party drug called Bliss. Camera moves to Sophia upon the last word. Maybe because she named it? I don't know if she did. I wrote that down. I thought she did. Sheesh, I've never seen that one before. Camera moves to Sophia upon the last word, maybe because she named it, continues to say, that's why you're here. No, so that's what Penguin is saying, that's why you're here. Best fucking salespeople I know. The fetish cam girl entrepreneur is on the left, with 2 other girls sitting next to her, ready to sell. I thought it was a great shot, but you know, it's just like, they have a good budget, they can hire some pretty women. I'm gonna go ahead and, I think my battery's about to run low, so I think I'm just gonna turn on this double XP, play a couple of games and read as I go, and then once my headset dies, I'll just play until double XP runs out and then finish reading as I go. He says they'll start at 20 a hit as in the price, and Victor is the bagman for the night. So if any ladies need a re-up, to go to him and leave the cash, and promises to get the ladies back before last call. The entrepreneur is intrigued seeing Vic put to work. I just saw that she raised her. I really like Lowtown. Dealership is another, I should show Dealership, but I don't like it as much and people are voting. I could tie it here. I hate this fucking map, but I'll click it anyway. And Vic is the bagman for the night, so if any ladies need a re-up, but the entrepreneur is Roxy, I found out her name was. The yellow-dressed eye candy says security knows who they are, so to go to them if they need anything. And I think that maybe she works there. Alright, get out there and make us a fuck ton of money, says Penguin. Not entirely relevant, but the entrepreneur gets up. She's wearing like this black, like goth, like style on top, and then like a yellow skirt. I just thought it was kind of funny. I didn't know if it was relevant, but she's happy to get to it. The camera moves to Victor, and on his phone at 9:05 is a text from Graciela at some time saying, "See you tonight in a couple of hours," with a heart. And his wallpaper looks like a sunken man with different types of like cords holding him up as he is leaning forward. I think I'm gonna play straight, and then I'll read once this is all done. But I need 5 pistol kills.
Hardpoint locked down. Claim the advantage.
Sometimes pre-firing is a good strategy if you think you know there are going to be. I thought there was going to be someone to the right, but they were to the left. I still don't have flak jacket on. That was a good kill. Come on, Elim. Thank you, Elim. Oh, more damage. You got a Molotov kill after the fact. Let's go. Sorry, Daddy Do-Da-Do.
Get down,
Oh, these fucking semis, they're so good. That's what I was running before this, but it was for the challenges, not really for my personal playstyles. Oh my, I gotta chill. I'm fucking pissed though, it's kind of annoying. But yeah, I just don't like this map. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Dude, with the Semtexes, holy crap. It's literally, I literally should just put on flak jacket on, but I just don't do it. Check your corners, sir.
Hardpoint locked down.
Sometimes you gotta play this way in hardpoint, which I don't love. I don't love it, but I did it there. I got a little bit of the hardpoint. At least we started out with the hardpoint, which does sometimes give us a slight advantage here. Let's see if we can get here quickly.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure.
enemy grenade!
RCXD maneuvering. UAV standing by. CUAV prepped for launch.
I'm pretty good with the pistol, admittedly.
Hardpoint located.
But this is the type of time why I say you don't need to reload, you know? I had 9 bullets, and yeah, I couldn't kill him with the bullet, but I got a hit. And now I have an LDBR.
Hostile shooter.
Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Cloaker above. Cranking music. UAV established overhead. NCO hotel used quick. 6 Cloaker reporting power reserve 50%.
Try stopping that with your trophy.
Mission timeline 50% expended.
Get on the hardpoint team, please. I can't get on it, so...
Mission timeline expired. Cloaker exiting AO.
That's another thing about hardcore is there's friendly fire. So, like, yeah, from a realism standpoint, I get it, but... Yeah, I just...
Timeline expired. UAV RT.
I don't love it as all.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
The Play-Doh girl?
Hardpoint
I
identified.
don't know.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Damn. See, I would have died anyway, but if I could get, like, headshots only, like, maybe I'd have gotten that kill there.
Down, frag.
See how that my team jumps on the hard point? Like, this is just what I want every game. Like, who cares if we get murked?
Scrambler located.
Enemy scout pod detected.
Dang, there's so many here. We almost took it there. I think we contested it at least, but I would love to finish with this hard point.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint located.
The old Modern Warfare saying, I think it's Modern Warfare 2, that switching to your secondary is always faster than reloading.
Active. Hardpoint is secure.
That's pretty much always true. Even the fastest reloading of guns don't...
Hardpoint.
Oh my god, these freaking explosives. I definitely have to change this to flak jacket after this game. Yeah, we'll play these next 2, I think.
Hardpoint locked down.
Did I destroy
Hostiles
it?
have the hard point.
I don't think I destroyed it. That's unfortunate.
Trophy neutralized.
Thank you, sir.
Wasted.
Damn it. It's a little tough from that close range like that, but still would have been nice.
Hard point identified.
Well, at least, you know, sometimes you gotta hold that suppressing fire. That's what I'm talking about, playing like as a team, rather than like as an individual. Like sometimes, like, I take that L, even if it prevents me from getting a score streak. And some might argue that, some might argue that the score streaks might help you. The fuck?
Hard point locked down.
There we go. I didn't die, let's go.
Hostiles have the hard point.
No, the flash! This is terrible. Whatever. Daddy dude, dad dude got me back.
Hard point is secure.
Get a UAV
Where
on
are
grid.
you?
Hard point located.
Oh, I didn't kill him. You gotta be kidding me. At least I leveled that up, but yeah. I don't think I leveled up even with all that I just got. Because you get the 25 plus the 7.5. Shoot.
Destroying all CX stations.
So yeah, I'll play one more game after this, and then I'll, I don't know, depending on how long I have.
Hostile field upgrade.
More melee kills. I don't know, it's gonna take a long time for me to get that up, but I'll change my class, I'll check the status.
They've taken the lead. Hard point locked down. Hostiles have captured the hard point.
Moving with hand cannon.
The lead is ours.
Oh, I could've gotten it! It's okay, I think I could get the
Hard point
elim.
identified.
Nah, no elim. That guy knows how to hold on to his life. Or he just knows how to hide. More points for me, please. Me and my team, of course, that's what I meant.
Hard point active.
But hey, sometimes I like to think about it, you know. You add points for your team, you add points for yourself as well, you know. You're not the only one who gets the championship ring if you win. They're holding this one down. It's a pretty close game. This is a really close game. But yeah, I guess I can try and explain why I've selected some of these game modes, especially since it looks like I'm not getting my wish and playing Control. But so the first one was Search and Destroy, and the reason I did that was because it was so focused on Sophia looking for who killed her brother so that she could destroy that person. It looked like by the end of the episode that she was gonna succeed, but he slips out at the last second, of course. Then the second one I use is Hardpoint, just because so much takes place in the Falcone residence, and like Hardpoint is like holding down a location. And so in order, like, it was called Inside Man, and you know, I think your biggest threat will always come from the inside, like, so you gotta be careful who you let into your home. And then Control, I liked because of the title Bliss. Bliss is a term referring to like, when everything is like nice, like everything is just good. And one of the most famous sayings regarding Bliss is ignorance is bliss. Like, what you don't know can't hurt you. It kind of has to go with that. So like, when you don't know anything, like nothing can hurt you. And that's why I think it's an interesting use of the party drug, is because like people use it to like, might use party drugs to like distract themselves from like their homework or like their marital troubles or like family issues, or like they don't feel like they're good enough or something like that. So I thought it was an interesting use of that word, and I think that a lot of the reasons for things being difficult is because there are things that are just out of our control, and by placing yourself in a state of bliss, you feel like you have control of everything, or maybe you just don't care about having control. So I think it's kind of interesting that I wanted to play Control, and I'm not able to, and that's just something that I have to accept because that's out of my control. It's a new game mode that I think this is the first game that they had it. I didn't play Vanguard or anything, so I can't know if they had it there. I do hope that one day they bring back Demolition, but I don't know. I guess people are like afraid of like bombs and shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand why they don't. I love Demolition, it's so fun, but I guess we'll just have to settle for people not playing Control. But I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know about that game mode, why it's so difficult for them to just have it. Whatever, but like I was saying, so yeah, I wanted to do control for this one, but if it's out of my control, it's out of my control. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next episode or the next one, but I do think that it's going to be some combination of free-for-all, domination, headquarters. There should be two more.
Keep it that way.
Team deathmatch. And,
This is ours to lose. Hostiles have captured the hard point.
that was 4, and there should be
given up
8,
the
and
lead.
we've played 3. Just bailed out by his teammate.
Hard point is
What could
secure.
be the other game mode? There's no capture the flag anymore, which is kind of unfortunate because I really like that
Hard
game
point
mode.
identified. We've claimed the advantage. Now hold it. Hard point active. Hostiles have the hard point.
God, you're not supposed to chase,
Reclaim the
but I really thought I could get that kill. But it's okay. I kind of like playing aggressive. It's kind of fun. I don't really need... I probably shouldn't do that all the time. He's in the corner. I can't tell anybody, but corner.
Hard point shut down. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point is secure. Hostiles have the hard point. Hard point locked down. Hard point located.
This could be the game. We have to hop on the next one. This is really bad.
Operating RCXD.
Semtex incoming.
Hard point is active. Hard point is secure.
Waypoint marked. Requested watchdog Elo on my grid.
Shit!
Hostiles have captured
Hop
the hard
on,
point.
hop on.
Hard point locked down.
I'm so far away. I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Keep it that way.
This double time might come in handy here. I think that's gonna do it. Let's go. Great win, team. Hell yes. Oh snap, I got the top here. Let's go ahead and go with relax. God damn, this one. Oh, it was intense. Oh. But yeah, I'll keep reading while I wait for this next game to go in. And, yeah, we'll see how it keeps going. Blast trap, yeah. Let's go ahead and change the class a little bit. So, flak jacket is going on. And the Molotovs were fun, but I think I'm going to go back to the Semtexes because it's not terrible. And I'm going to run attack insert. So now that we got that, I do like the acoustic amp. Maybe I'll use that in the future. Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get some red card. I kind of like... I don't really like it. I don't really like red card, but I feel like it's very strategic, so... Whatever, I'll fight it. The penguin begins to speak. Oh, okay. Where am I? So he's at, yeah, the camera moves to Victor on his phone. Graciella's like asking him where he's gonna be, and the penguin begins to speak to him, and he quickly puts his phone away. He says, remember, kid, they want what you got, not the other way around. Shoulders back, head up, take up space. And then, I don't know what this says. As Victor begins to go to his duty, Penn stops him and assures him that he wouldn't ask him to do this if he didn't think he could handle it. There's another pause, and Penguin says, I believe in you, kid. Eyes brighter and more proud than one can believe. Penguin's eyes. Got it? Victor nods and then departs. Vic kisses... Oh no, my headset died. This is gonna be the last game. The Victor kisses the eye candy girl, and I said, must have been Eve, but I didn't recognize her, hard to make sure. So I'm gonna play this one without... this is gonna be the last game. I'm gonna play this without audio, and yeah, we'll see what happens. And then I'll just finish the reading. There's like 8 pages left, and that'll be it.
Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Spawn flip
Semtex
already. Holy
primed.
crap!
They're not getting up.
Hardpoint is secure.
Eyes on
Let's go,
Semtex.
flak jacket. Oh, I burned on fire
Hostiles
anyway
have the
though.
hardpoint.
Thermal grenade identified.
One more person, one more person.
Hardpoint
Good,
locked
let's
down.
go ahead and hop on the next one.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint active. Hardpoint is secure.
PID, they're mine. Incoming Semtex. Enemy.
I killed myself kinda, but didn't count. Counted more as the Molotov, even though most of the damage was from the Semtex. Seems like this dude's trying to get the spawn kill. We lost a player. See how that affects it on hardpoint. A lot of natural cover there. Good way to save my teammate, Savior. We like that.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
I like the danger close a lot
kills.
because you just get so many kills.
UAV available for tasking.
We've taken the lead.
Okay, I don't know how many. Like that was a pretty crazy
UAV available for
sequence.
tasking.
Authorizing CUAV ECM mission.
Hostiles have they've taken the lead.
Tossing Semtex grenade.
Cloaker MCL, 50% check.
It's just so satisfying getting some of these headshots.
Hardpoint locked down. The lead is on.
Heads up.
I think it's
front.
because it's so accurate that if you
Semtex.
want to hit them in the head, like you do. I don't think I used my tactical insertion once that game.
Spotted enemy stun.
I'm getting some kill streaks though steadily. I guess it's just like a mess of a map.
TACOM. Bailey requesting CUAV.
Electronic countermeasures active.
Hostile
But,
UAV
hey, you can't go
established
wrong.
overhead.
But it's nice that you can all hear my
Hey,
audio.
clear off
I
the trigger.
can't, but I'll hear it
TACOM
later. It's no
requesting
big.
recon
Give
overhead.
me eyes in the sky. Enemy mark.
UAV commenced surveillance operation.
Taking out the legs. It's kind of hard to hit people on the ground, I know.
Your tac insert was
But you
destroyed.
got. That's why you have to drop your scope. If that happens to you, just drop your scope and aim down, hip firing, and you should. It's still a little challenging, but it's not
Enemy sighted.
impossible. Let's go. Cross map kill. 28.9 meters. We love that. Let's go ahead and hop on the next one. See what we can do here.
Arming Semtex.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. Hardpoint active.
We're flying on fuel. UAV returning to base.
Hostile down.
Very nice. Got to reload, but I don't want to do it yet. So look at that tide. I think I got stuck there. I don't know, but the trophy system you'd think would help me there, but I guess not. Backshot. Sorry.
See ya.
It's gonna be a little tough here, but got some semis.
Enemy field upgrade active.
Unfortunately, they blow each other up, so you gotta be careful with using that. I think there's someone up here on the
Threat neutralized.
dining table.
Hardpoint locked down.
Enemy trophy system disrupted.
Alright, this time I'm gonna reload, but
Hardpoint located.
that's sometimes. I keep doing the. Oh
Hostiles have
shit.
captured the hardpoint.
I think it'll last until I can plug it in.
Hardpoint is active.
I still have the setting where I have to interact instead of hold, so I think I am just gonna plug it in, honestly, just to be safe. I unplugged it because it had I didn't want to overcharge it if I didn't need to.
Enemy scout post detected.
Oh my god, just throw nades.
Heads up. Knock it off, genius.
These Molotovs are crazy.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Eyes on Semtex.
I think there goes my tack insert. Yeah, the Willis. I changed it from the Jason Armory to the Willis. Oh, my tack insertion survived, and I didn't get any kills. That is so unfortunate. I think this is a good spot for a nade. Which is kind of tough because the Semtexes you can't cook. So they have a timed fuse, and they're just going to blow up when they blow up.
Hardpoint active.
Grenade
Hardpoint
inbound.
is secure.
I want more semis. Give me more. Oh, I can't do it twice in one life, apparently. Oh, wow, what a slide shot. He pulled out the shotty. That's how you know it's getting real.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Hostile field upgrade spotted.
Kill him. Thank you, Direwolf. Appreciate that. I'm surprised we still haven't been able to hold this, though.
Enemy UAV.
I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I
Enemy UAV.
think I'm gonna try to take
inbound.
out this counter. Ugh.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Hostile counter UAV. Engaging. moved.
overhead. Hardpoint located.
Enemy thermal barrack.
That's a kill.
Frag drone.
Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Come on, hold it. Hold the hard point.
Eyes on Semtex.
Hardpoint is secure.
Incoming frag.
Pick it up! Shit. Damn, this flakjack would be crazy though. It doesn't take that long to unlock it. It's just level 14.
Hardpoint locked down.
Oh, same team, sorry. I couldn't tell. At least kill the people there, please. Thank you, Direwolf. Sorry for shooting you. See, that's what I'm saying though. There's no penalties. They just like make a quick note about it. Like I don't know. They have a couple good ones. Like Woods will say, "You fucking blind, man," and then Kane will be like, "You got some balls." And then Maya's like, "Oh, that's your best shot?" And I'm like, "All right, yo."
Get the eyes in the sky.
It's just funny. They all have something to say.
Concussion grenade sighted.
And then Bailey's like, "Hey, finger off the trigger." I'm pretty sure I can't hear what Bailey's saying though because I usually have Ninja on, but now that I don't, I think she's speaking again. But it's so much better because like you literally, if someone throws a grenade in a spot, even if they don't hit you,
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
you can know where they are because they say Semtex or Thermo or.
Enemy field upgrade active.
Hardpoint locked
Tossing
down.
Semtex grenade.
So the trophy system have a limited amount of ammo. So if enough people trigger it, it'll say run out of ammo.
UAV standing by.
Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Bailey authorizing UAV mission.
UAV in the turn. Have eyes on.
Oops, I'm blinded. What is going on? Yeah, this is like one of the first games where you can counter, you can restrict. Like if you start. Come on,
Enemy care package.
they're all trying with the shotties, and it's not a bad effort because it can do a lot of hurting from close range. Like if you get a good shot off, and it is a close range map, but I don't know,
UAV exiting your grid.
it's not perfect.
Incoming.
Hardpoint locked down.
Enemy flashbang.
I'm really enjoying having this flakjack on.
Hostile Semtex. Enemy frag.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
I'm leading the leaderboards. We'll see if I can hold on to that. I kind of wouldn't mind doing it.
Hostiles have captured the
Show off my other
hardpoint.
emote.
Hostiles outpost in your AO.
Seems there's two people on the objective. It's not about the individual accolades though, but you know, sometimes if you do well, oh shit.
Hardpoint is secure.
Sometimes if you can do well, you help the team do well, you know it is what it is.
Have eyes on deleted hand
Yeah,
cannon.
that's good.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Oh, I could have gotten that kill.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down.
Hostile planting spring mine.
Tactical incoming.
Hardpoint active.
No kill.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Dude, why am I so like that? I forget that I have the tack insert.
Let that be a fucking lesson.
Hey, don't make me return fire.
Hardpoint is secure.
So precise with some of these tosses. That's the triple kill I was looking for.
Semtex prime. Hostile spotted.
TACOM. Gray requesting UAV.
Shit.
Gray authorizing UAV mission.
Monkers.
Goes right where we want them. Finish the job.
Arming
Hardpoint
Semtex.
located.
Ouch. No matter how much you got, it can still hurt you.
Hardpoint is active. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
No kill there, but that's fine.
Enemy with Semtex.
Hardpoint locked down.
Crap. We should be able to win on this hard point realistically, just because we've been holding it so productively and stuff.
TACOM requesting recon overhead.
Dude, really though? I think it'll blow up
Semtex
before it hits
grenade.
the ground.
Incoming lethal.
Hardpoint is secure.
It's just situations like that, but even still, even if he had a longer range gun, I don't think he'd be able to beat me there.
Hardpoint identified.
kill. Let's get a couple of points. I only need 5 now, but I need to reload, so...
Hardpoint locked down.
Well, one more death. It's fine.
They were already
Held the top. My teammate has second, but Joker Too Nasty came in third, managed it. So let's go ahead and close up this and start reading. I think I remember this. This was a pretty slick kill. Let's see if I can, like... Triple, and then I switched, and I got one more kill, but I could have gotten, like, so much more. I should have gotten a hella kills here, but I think that's all I got. I think I got away. I got away. Holy crap. Let's go ahead and do the congrats to me that I changed up to. That's all I got. But hey, gotta show some love to yourself. But yeah, let's see that nuke drop. Oof, I probably should have kept my sunglasses on, shouldn't I? It is what it is, be what it be. I got some levels, which was cool, I like that, but I think while I do this, I'm gonna have my headset charging in case I want to play some more Xbox late if any. Oh, I do, I have to stream today. I don't have, I want to stream. What day is it? March 15th, so I'm doing some Citadel de Mots, so it will be some more Call of Duty, but that'll be in the future, as in like later today, and that'll be cool. But let me just plug this in real quick. Oop, did I turn it on? It's already dead, it's fine. So, if you're not here... Oh, let me back out. Yeah, I'll back out. It's fine. It was fun, but we already got what we needed to, so I'm just gonna read this these last 8 pages and call it a episode. It'll probably take me some time. I don't know if it reached 2 hours. Hopefully it didn't, but let's just keep going. After the blondie departs, I don't know if it was Eve. I don't think so. I think it was just a club owner, but I thought it was a little weird for Penguin to kiss her. The camera cuts to Sophia looking nervous, and she tells Oz fiery speech. He thanks her, but her doubt or nerves show when she asks him if he thinks it did the trick. He says he sure hopes so. He continues saying Zhao will be here soon, and if he likes what he sees, then they'll be untouchable. Sophia goes on to say that she can't tell who wants this more, me or you. Penn slowly looks at her and says he wants this for her, but I think the fact that she asked meant that she probably thinks it's him. She slightly smiles, nods, and says, "You say all the right things, don't you, Oz? You gotta be careful with people like that, in my opinion." Oz shrugs and changes the subject back to business, saying Zhao needs to see that they mean business, but Sophia isn't done. She asks Oz if it was worth it, what he did to her. He asks, "Who's speaking, you or Vidi?" She says he didn't say anything she didn't already know. Penguin gets defensive, saying Vidi has her eating out of his hand. She retorts with how can I not read my own handwriting? She retorts with a belittlement, saying Zhao is here to see her, not her former driver. This leaves Oz in a state of shock. Scene changes to the club. There's chill music. It sounds like The Weeknd, but it probably isn't. Victor's on the floor, and a salesgirl approaches him saying she needs more. He asks how much, and she just says more. Victor obliges. She walks away happy. Lots of kissing, music, and drug doing, all licking off their palms. Apparently that's how they take the drug. It's not their palms, it's like their hand. Girls seem to be doing their jobs, like the sales girls, and people seem to be liking the stuff. The scene goes to Sophia sitting, Oz standing at her right, and she's speaking to a seated Zhao, with Link on his left. She says there's nothing like it, and people can see that, feel that, and says that translates into dollars. Penguin adds that they've raised their price twice, up to $60 a hit, on the first night. This zooms on Sophia, and she looks a little annoyed, even though he's trying to back her up. Clearly, she's doing this for clout. That's what I said. Clout is like status and quo and whatever. Penn says this is the first night, imagine the future. Our drug, your clubs and casinos, can you see it? Zhao glances down and then up and says, there's definitely a lot of potential to your plan, Miss Falcone. I won't deny that. But even if you have the support of an underboss, the risk here is too great. A man of business, I say. Sophia scoffs. Why is that? I'm just saying you should always think about the risks here. And let's see, I guess I'll get this kunai. Or I can get any of these? No way. I can claim all this? Holy fuck yeah, I really just want to make sure I get these battle pass. All of it's open and available? That's kind of awesome. Oh, but this is the last page. If I want the 200 COD points, I have to get to that point. But still, that's good. Yeah, that's cool. That's good to know. A lot of potential. I like your plan, Miss Falcone, but he says the risk here is too great, and it's always important to consider risk when starting any type of business venture. There's never zero risk, especially if there's a potential to make money, so you have to consider that. Like, think about the Bible, like, story about the talents. Like, 1 talent, 5 talent, 10 talents, and in order to make more, or whatever the talents are, you have to use it, you have to put it to work, but you could risk losing it. So you gotta spend money to make money. It's true. Sophia scoffs. Why is that? He goes on to explain. explain. The Falcons and the Triads have history. Sophia claims she already knows that her father relegated the Triads to a lesser part of Gotham, and Zhao admits that he opened a bottle of champagne when her father died. And Sophia adds that the first chance she got, she danced on his grave. And then she claims that they are more alike than he thinks, as he chuckles. However, Zhao has reservations due to her time in Arkham. The camera moves to Penguin at this point, which has meaning to me because I have seen the show, but not to you because you have not. And Sophia claps back saying she's not the only one with a past, referring to Zhao's dad being pushed out of Taiwan by the police and working as a psychologist. She says drug use is always initiated by a psychological need, and Zhao responds that he could argue everything humans do is due to a psychological need, which is a very good argument. Causation does not mean correlation. Sophia motions to the dancing clubbies and points out how their city was decimated. They lost their home, families, their former mayor was assassinated. First scene of the Batman. They need it. Camera work is done amazingly here. You can tell it is a very professionally made show. That's just something I observed. Gets to Victor, and Graciela is asking if she talked to his boss and that she's at the station. This is at 11:07. But at that moment, the entrepreneur calls Vic over, calling him, "Hey, Bagman," and asking him to take a break and dance with her. He calls her Roxy, really, and seems about to kiss her when he has a psychotic break. And yeah, I don't know. I've been in that situation, you know. Dancing is not always dancing, you know. You gotta be careful. That's how you start a lot of other things. So be careful when you're invited to dance. But, you know, you can always hold your own. Seems Victor probably wouldn't have been able to if he didn't have this break. But let's hear about this psychotic break that happens while Sophia's explaining. And I think there's a pause here from Sophia's speech to see it. So he hears Graciela. He sees her. And there she sees the explosions. And it goes back to the day that it all went down. I thought this was an amazingly done scene. Very vivid imagery. And Graciela has her voice and her whole essence is on that club with him as Victor breaks down and drops some of the drugs. Roxy pulls him out of it, calling him Victor, the same way Graciela would say his name, and she tells him to pull it together in not the nicest way, admittedly, but she helps him pick it up and recover nonetheless. Victor stands and turns away. Roxy looks on, and Sophia's voiceover continues. I don't know. I think Roxy's a little out of his league, not because of anything other than the amount of money that she has. Like, I just think that situation, like, he's not at that level yet if he wants to be. Like, I thought she was just having fun. So you gotta be careful with that. People can use you to have fun. He turns away. Roxy looks on as Victor walks away, and Sophia's voiceover continues. These people need an escape, and nothing offers a better escape than Bliss. The camera gets back to her, and she finishes. That's why they gave it to us in Arkham. Zhao hears this and is intrigued. She goes on. It made us content, submissive. Any pain that we had just floated away, allowing us to forget where we were. Pause as he looks on. It's a very powerful drug, and whoever controls it will control the future of the drug trade in Gotham. Zhao looks away and down. Penguin looks on, standing and patient. Sophia then implements the business strategy of showing that she has other buyers, saying if they're not interested, she can go to the Neon Dragons or Odessa mob, and that she does not care who is her sales rep. She gets up and begins to walk away. Penguin whispers to her, "What are you doing?" He's seen what we have. Make the deal or don't. I'll be downstairs. This is an effective strategy for business, in my opinion, but I think it's only in the short term because it does not inspire loyalty, and this is something I've given Sophia some trouble for in the past, that I don't think she inspires loyalty. And so I think in the short term she'll secure the deal, but first chance they get, maybe they'll cut her out of it. So be careful. That's the risk that I'm talking about. I think a lack of emotion, I wrote this down, I don't think always plays out great. But to secure the partner, I think it'll get them a foothold in. Scene changes to Victor in the bathroom trying to catch his breath, splashing water in his face and looking in the mirror, talking himself down or up. I don't know. Another text. Seems he gave a thumbs up to the "see you in a couple hours" heart text, but it's been 13 minutes, it's 11:20 now, since heading to the station. You talked to your boss yet? Text saying, "Bus leaves soon. You coming?" At this point, Penguin walks into the bathroom and tells him he's been looking for him and gives him the good news about the deal that went through. The Penguin is happy, but he says they still need to be careful because the Maronis are on his back. But he takes a moment to give Victor his flowers, calling him the Bagman and saying he held his own tonight and that he's proud of him. He tries to keep pulling him along, saying he got Roxy to get some bottles of the good stuff, but the phone buzzes again. And this scene, I had to like go back and rewatch because it was just so amazing. I didn't want to write anything down. I just wanted to watch it. Victor looks down, Penguin looks on, and then snaps, "Give it to me now, goddammit!" And then he reads the texts. "You going somewhere?" And Oz seems a little hurt. At first, he thinks he's bolting with the money, but Victor quickly says that he wouldn't leave with the money, and it seems genuine enough. Oz begins to yell, "We're this fucking close, and you want to bail? For what? A piece of ass?" He says it's not her, it's Jesus, kid. Because, okay. It's not her, and he's stuttering. And so he says, "Jesus, kid." And he says, "It's everything, okay? It's everything. I do everything that you ask me to do, all right? I do it all. I try to, at least. It's just, I don't know if I should." "What? You think you're too good for this life? Is that it? That's funny coming from you. You want to go?" Go. What are you waiting for? Fucking go. And then Victor's in shock and he says, I can't leave. The fuck you think I'm holding you hostage or something? That you're my fucking prisoner? Is that it? Penguin pulls out a gun and aims it at him. Victor gets a little uneasy. This, what it feels like? Being with me? What'd you have before? Before I found you? Huh, kid? And Victor is slightly pleading. Oz, please. Fucking nothing. That's what. A loser. You had nobody. I gave you clothes, money, a place to crash. You got all the opportunity in the world right here, for Christ's sake. But this is all you feel? You could have fucking left whenever you wanted. He didn't say fucking there, sorry. I'm in the moment. But you didn't. And then he shoves him towards the mirror. Penguin's reflection, you can see it. It's like, it's really ugly right now. And Victor is looking really scared. Why don't you ask yourself why? Oz, I don't. No. Let me help. You stayed because you want something better. You want more than your father ever had. And Victor's all sad and reflective and he shakes his head looking down. No, my dad would be ashamed of me. You want to know what's shameful, Vic? Working your whole goddamn life, having nothing to show for it. You still think there's good and bad, right and wrong? There ain't. It's just this. Survival, security, pleasure. They don't give awards for dying in the projects. And this is where Victor stands tall. Fuck you. Fuck me? Fuck the whole goddamn world. They don't give a shit about you or your family. You think you're nothing. You are nothing until the day you die. I thought you were smart, but guess what? The life you want, good news, you already got it. So go. Get the fuck out of here. You don't deserve this. Victor looks at him steadily and then processes it and walks without leaving Penguin's eyes, and he walks out. The tough thing here about right and wrong and all this, and he goes and says, you work your whole damn life and have nothing to show for it. I don't know if that was a direct blow at his dad, and I don't think that it was, but also he has Victor to show for it. So I don't know, I guess it depends. I don't know, and he had the house, like it wasn't bad, but it got sunk, it got washed away. I mean, there's some that would argue that there's a certain type of release in death, so I don't know, and I don't know. I think it's tough, and I think Penguin is being really genuine here, but I also think he's just hurting, and sometimes you get it. But he was mad about how they don't give awards for dying in the projects, and while that's true, not everyone needs the awards. Like, what are the awards, like, really looking for here? That's why I'm saying this episode was so good. It was very touching. The music changes, picks up, and Victor is speed walking out the back. He sees Penguin's car. He has the keys still, so he gets in and drives away. Music continues as we see Penguin looking down, contemplating. He has a drink in a hand, and he's in the club with the scenery all around. He takes a gulp, and then now we're going back to Victor. He arrives at the Gotham City Port Authority, in purple Maserati. Now I know what that logo is now. It's a Maserati. He sees Graciela, and she's ready to board, and she's looking around for Victor. Victor is watching her, biting his lip uncertainly. The door of the bus opens, and she glances down at her phone, then begins to board as Victor looks on. He has tears in his eyes, but the bus drives away, and she almost seems to look in his direction, but he stays put in the Penguin's ride. Back to the Penguin scene. Another swig, more music. The music's like lyrics are about hurting people and being used and like rich and poor. I think it was a good choice. It's very intense, but you can tell Victor has clearly chosen not to go. But we're back to Penguin right now. He finds Sophia outside smoking a cigarette alone. She says, is it done? And he says, triads are in. You don't seem too excited. She shrugs and says, trauma sells. Penguin says that they should celebrate, and Sophia says she's sure that he'll manage just fine without her. There's a long pause, and then Penguin says, Jesus, fine, all right, I fucked you over. That what you want to hear? She responds with humor. Please tell me that's not your attempt at an apology. He claims he didn't know what Carmine would do. He knew he'd do something, but was surprised he put his own flesh and blood in Arkham, which is like an asylum that you might see in the future. We still don't know exactly what he did, but you're kind of getting more hints that it has something to do with him. Bullshit, she says. You ratted me out. And he says, I ain't no rat. And she says, and I ain't the hangman. You see the way people look at me, right? I know you do. And what was it all for? So you could become a capo? You're not even a made man. So capo must be like maybe more an Italian word for gangster. But this sounds like it stung Penguin because of the way the voice shakes when he responds. Yet, you're right, I ain't. He's not a made man yet, he says. I still made it out like a goddamn bandit. And you know what? It was worth it. She looks at him. Aterrada. I said that word because I feel like there's no word in English that is as good. Because shocked doesn't really, I don't know. Aterrada. It's a Spanish word. You wanted my answer? There it is. I got the club, permission to run my own thing. A guy like me. He says it with tears. All that may not mean nothing to you, but it does for me. And that's where I go all the way back to the beginning about like how Roxy was a made woman and Sophia, she got all this inherited. It meant I could have a better life. So yeah, I don't regret what I did. Sophia slowly takes this all in before shaking her head and saying, wow. Penguin then says, but I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry for everything that's happened to you. Jesus, you meant something to me. Still do, and I fucked it up. And that I ain't ever gonna live down. Sophia listens, waits and waits, and she tears a bit as well. She gets another cigarette and Penguin offers to light it, and she accepts. She looks up at him. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know how to trust you, she says as she sands him the lit cigarette. He smokes it and then says, how about I keep showing you how? I thought that was a pretty good scene as well, because you learn more about how Penguin feels, and you see his more of an emotional side from him, like more human, not just about like the gangster who kills people and stuff. He'll never be like a big teddy bear, so I guess the Penguin analysis isn't like bad to make of him, but you also get to learn about Sophia, and I still think she's really bitter about her time in Arkham, and I'm sure it was really traumatic. So I can't, like, I don't know. It's tough because, like, I've never been in a mental institution, but I have been, like, held against my, like, a little against my will after like a bad episode of like marijuana. I know I might sound like a pussy, but it was what it was. Like, my parents didn't put me in an asylum when they could have, or whatever they call it, a mental institution. And I guess I'm grateful for that. But I've known someone, I know a girl close to me, who did. And I think she came out of it better. So I don't think it's always bad, but I think Sophia doesn't really like how it happened, especially because it doesn't sound like it was. I don't know. Vidi hinted that it was a girl who got what she deserved, but I don't know what she was in there for. It sounds like Penguin ratted her out for something, but I don't know if it was like deserved or not. So we'll find out. I can't really remember. But this is the last scene, basically. So suddenly you see a light pass over Sophia's face and screeching noises. A car pulls up near them and men are armed with pistols. And they come out telling them not to move, vulgarly. Third of the car, there's two with gun, and out comes Nadia lastly, saying, "Oz, you think you can play us? We've been watching you, motherfucker." I'm like, dang, sorry for that vulgarity, but it's vulgar. It's a vulgar show. Sophia looks around confused. The scene changes to Vic, sweating and distraught, driving the nice car. At a reasonable pace, I mentioned. He stops somewhere and looks over, and he sees Sophia and Oz kneeling with guns pointed at them. He processes this, and then after a time, he revs his engine and crushes a gun-wielding dude with the car. The man tries to fire, or he does fire, but to no avail, he misses. But Vic looks affected by the crash. He's bleeding from his head and his nose, and you hear this drum beat playing steadily as Victor's gathering himself, and then pop, pop, Penguin enters car, tells him to go. He asks, "What about Sophia?" And he reluctantly says, "Leave her." Victor obliges. I think it's reluctant. I said seemingly. I don't know for sure. God damn it, Vic. I knew you'd come back. I fucking knew it. This is some fucking world. That was incredible, kid. Jesus, we're in it now, Vic. We're in it now. The music fades out, and the episode ends. So yeah, it was pretty good, I thought. We see that Victor did come back. He wants to make a better life of himself with the Penguin. He does not want to start a new life with Graciela. I think I would have ran a little bit, but maybe I don't know. I think some people are more built for that life, but I don't think I would want to be a part of like all that illegal stuff, no matter how much money I can make. Even if it's like thrilling, I don't really live for the thrill. I like to get my thrills in like these controlled environments like video games or sports or something. Like, I feed my primal instincts that way, but I don't really think I would want to risk my life. I think it might help that I have a family, but even if I didn't, like Graciela, like, she seemed like a really good option there. And especially because the car isn't even mine. He drove Penguin's car. It's not his. Like, if he left the car, there wouldn't be any problem with it because there's no name attached to it. But he goes back. He made his choice. And we live with our choices every day. But I think Graciela will be fine in California and she'll find her life. But I think I can relate to that with Victor about feeling this attachment to your homeland, where you come from. I relate to that in some ways, but we can get into that on another day. For now, I just want to mention that I did start the episode saying RIP to the Pretty Little Liars show. And I think it's interesting that like a streaming service like Max, like, you have to make choices. You have to make choices about what shows you invest in, and it seems like they would rather invest in shows like The Penguin and other newer shows, and I think that's totally fair and I understand it. But it kind of made me question about like my channel and what episodes, what series are worth investing in, and if I don't really want to end any of them prematurely. A lot of series, like, they go season by season, so it's not like they end them before a specific time, but I do think that there could have been a third season for that show, and that they could have maybe gone on, but I don't think they wanted to replace the original, and that's the thing using the name. I think a lot of the people working on that show have been working on those types of shows, like that series, that world, for a really long time, and I think it's just time for them to either retire or move on to something else. And the actresses are still young. I'm sure they'll find other work, and the adults who were in the show did a great job. But you know, life is like that. You make your choices, you settle with it, but I don't know. We'll see if I have to make choices like that on my channel. I hope I don't. I have a lot of really fun things to plan, but time is limited, and I have to make choices, and you'll start to see that more and more, and I'm sure you already have with my Halo Wars series, how I'm mixing up like how much editing I put into. So this series, it takes a lot. It's going to take a long time, but I do think it's worth doing. I really want to do it, so I'm going to do it if I can. I get to make the choices, so I got to live with those choices too. But yeah, on that note, it's been Tog. I hope you enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever it is that you're doing. I hope to see you in the next one. Stay awesome. Peace out.